welcome to Sword Board. I am Monkey, and today I'm talking about cards, not playing the game. Um, you will still get your regularly scheduled Witch vs. the World. It's probably up right now. Um, but the Cameo card that was just recently previewed, uh, really excited me. And I was talking with Oscar about it, and he could not be here for this one. But we were talking a lot about like what allies we'd really like to see in play using Cameo and like the different ways to use it. So I kind of wanted to get on and talk about that while I was still kind of interested in it, while it's still fresh in my mind. And I've separated into like a couple different categories. This is not all of the allies I'm going over. This is just a quick overview of some of the ones that immediately jumped out to me, or that as I was looking through the list, kind of immediately looked kind of cool and interesting, or like that I thought had some interesting niche builds. And starting out with just an Angel seems like a great card to include in anything that you want to. It says just after you play Angel from your hand, ready your identity. So Angel is of course from the Psylocke pack, and anytime you ready your identity, it can be useful. You can use this to heal, you can use this to punch again, thwart again, ready back up after defense. Pretty much any way you play the game, readying is going to be useful. Captain Marvel is after Captain Marvel uses a basic power, draw a card. Captain Marvel is amazing in Spider-Woman, and with leadership, you could sidekick her. You could throw reinforced suit on her. Is it reinforced suit? Whatever gives her 2 more hit points. And the longer she sticks around, the more value you get from her. Just every time you do anything with her, she draws you a card, which is just great and very useful. The third generically useful one is Mantis. And I mean, exhaust Mantis, deal 1 damage to her, heal 3 damage from an identity. If you're planning on playing a leadership supportive type deck, this will just enable you to keep your friends you're playing multiplayer topped off. If you're playing solo, this will keep you healthy. You won't be flipping down as much. You'll be able to stay in hero and keep doing your hero stuff more with this. Or if you take a big hit, Mantis is there to back you up. I think Mantis is going to see a lot of play in Cameo decks. And then we have what I'm calling the kind of tutor section of these. I'm going to start with Miss Marvel because she's not exactly tutoring. I think Miss Marvel would be very good in both decks that want to play big, flashy events, but also ones that want to play little, quick, small events because it doesn't specify what type of event it is. You're in leadership. You could be bouncing, make the call back to your hand. You could be bouncing cards that let you ready up other allies, various things. I think in general, Miss Marvel, she's already great in Nova, but I could see her working really well with Ironheart as well. Thwarting 3 off a scheme, bouncing that one back to your hand, playing again to take another 3 off. You're getting 3 or 4 progress counters on your suit. I think Miss Marvel is going to be great and see a lot of play with Cameo. Wiccan, which we don't have the card up for. I'll just move this over for a second. Wrong one. This one over for a second so we can have the text. After you play Wiccan from your hand, search your deck and discard for an identity specific event, and add to your hand for 2 costs, going and searching for any identity specific event. I think Wiccan is probably the best tutor there is, unless you're leaning into aspect stuff, which the next 2 let you lean a little more into. And next we have Black Widow, who can return attack events from your discard pile to your hand. So if I kind of wish Cameo could be done in aggression or something like that. I guess if you're playing Spider-Woman or Adam Warlock or some of the other multi-aspect heroes, you might be able to make something work with the other aspects. I imagine like getting multiple dive bombs off would be interesting. Plenty of identity-specific attacks. Um, Things let you swing a lot or just small, cheap hits. I could say this again, an Ironheart thing, playing and recurring those. But I think if you're going for recursion, this Marvel's still where you want to be. The next one is Nebula, who lets you search deck and discard, or not deck and discard, search your deck for an attack or thwart and add to your hand. For 2, as a 2/2 with 2 hit points, I think she's going to be very, very good. The fact that she lets you search your deck, and she just, when she enters play, so you're in leadership, you have access to rapid response and things that let you get your allies back out immediately. She doesn't have to be played from hand. You could have her block a hit, bounce her back on the field, and she's ready to get you another attack or thwart. And then we're on to defensive ones. So right now I just have Mockingbird up. This one that is, of course, featured on your Cameo card with Spider-Man there. When the villain initiates an attack against you, spend 1 resource of any type, return Mockingbird to your hand, print all damage from the stack. I think her and Pip the Troll and Colossus all fall into this same sort of thing, but doing it different ways. I think Mockingbird may be the best at it, followed up by Colossus, and then Pip the Troll has a bit too many asterisks on him for me to think people are going to be building around him very much. But I think Mockingbird and Colossus are going to see a lot in those kind of supportive leadership ones that may be trying to block damage for other people. Even though Mockingbird is initiates an attack against you, you could have other allies blocking for your people in multiplayer. And then these are some of the more interesting ones, I think, more niche ones. Is this final bit of category. We're talking, Oscar and I. He was like, "Oh, I'd love to play Logan and Angel." I was kind of confused, and then he explained it, and he said this Angel wants to constantly shift forms, and has a card much like Miles Morales to switch your hero form. Mid-turn, drop down to alter ego, flip up to another form, or flip back up to hero. Each time you flip down, Wolverine heals up, and you could do a lot with readying him up, attacking, readying him back up. If you have boost his hit points, swing again, flip down, heal him back up, and get a lot of worth with him out of that. One I thought of that was, I'll build this deck, and I'll be happy with this deck. But Honey Badger, hero response: after Honey Badger takes any amount of damage, ready X23. So I'm picturing this one where you are playing a kind of dual Voltron thing, where you are stacking up upgrades on Honey Badger and the Leadership X23 ally. This just says ready X23. So whenever you swing with Honey Badger, you'll ready up your Leadership X23 ally, let her swing again. She kills minion, she readies back up. I think there's a lot of funny turns you could do with this in X23. So I'm eager to get Cameo so I can build this deck. I don't know what hero I would do it with. Probably Star-Lord, just so I can get the Guardian upgrades on them. I think that sounds like the silliest thing to do. So I'll probably end up doing that. Black Cat's another one. This is for response: after you play Black Cat, discard the top 2 cards of your deck. Add each card with a printed mental resource discarded this way to your hand. So I could 100% see playing this in a Wasp deck. She already cares a lot about mental resource cards. She can shuffle them back into her deck. A lot of, not sure exactly how many, I think 10 of her cards are mental resources naturally, so she'll be shuffling those back in. You play Black Cat, discard top 2 cards, and if you built the deck to really thrive on your mental resources, you're probably going to be adding both those cards to your hand and giving you a lot more to do on your turn. This would be like a, potentially, could be like a 2-cost Moon Girl. You get one less card, but still. And the fact that she doesn't take damage from attacking means if you're in leadership, you could run Med Lab, and I'm blanking on the one that bounces back to your hand. You could set it up to bounce it back to your hand, play it again whenever you're ready to add 2 more cards to your hand. Essentially, she's almost going to be paying for herself if you built the deck around her. Nick Fury, I got sold on towards the end of the conversation because I realized Nick Fury, which he uses a basic power, add 1 all-purpose counter to a shield sport. He will end up making the helicarries a little bit more viable. If you're playing multiplayer and some of your friends want to run some of the 6-cost helicarriers, Nick makes them more viable because he can put shield counters on them, or all-purpose counters on them. I think, especially in Cersei decks, because it's naturally leadership, I think that'll be an interesting addition to them because he can make sure your Cersei sticks around forever. You'll have, kind of a pocket Maria when you're playing him because normally she can just shuffle your counters around, but he can kind of do that for you. And I think he may end up making at least the Cersei more viable than it already is. I think Cersei's already one of the best ones, besides Pericles. But I think he's going to up the value on it. And the fact that it's not a shield support you control means it works in multiplayer. So if your friend is running the Pericles or the Douglas, you can use Nick to feed their helicarrier engines. So I think that's going to be pretty interesting. Another semi-niche one, Iron Man. After Iron Man enters play, so he kind of has the same rapid response thing again where he doesn't have to be played from your hand. Search your deck and discard for a tech upgrade and add to your hand. And there's a handful of heroes I think are going to really, really enjoy playing Cameo with Iron Man. Black Widow, Nick Fury, because he can fetch their prep cards, either to help them get set up or to recur them after you use them. Rocket, because each of his upgrades are tech, so each of his weapons, his battery pack are all tech. So he can just kind of speed up setting up your weapons and tech cards, or fetch one that you've used up in case you need it back. Venom and Star-Lord could use some assistance getting set up because they each have a lot of tech upgrades and are pretty reliant on them. SPDR can get some assistance with her interface cards. She's low hand size, like just enough to pay for Iron Man. And if you're kind of struggling, Cameo Iron Man and play him, and you can go fetch one. And then Shuri could also benefit. She only has 2 tech upgrades in her kit naturally, but still, there is a little bit of use there. And speaking of Shuri, we have T'Challa. Boom Guy has talked about a deck he saw at, I think, Con of Heroes last year, where it was father and son team, like a sibling team or something, where one of them was playing T'Challa Black Panther, one was playing Shuri Black Panther, and the T'Challa Black Panther was running leadership to make the call on the T'Challa Shuri ally, and was using the T'Challa ally to trigger his Black Panther upgrades. So, and since it was the last one that was being activated in that chain, it was always the big flashy hit. I remember Boom Guy talking about it and being blown away by that combo. And so now you can do that in solo. Just Cameo T'Challa into your T'Challa deck. I think that'll be at least the deck that we see a little bit around. And then Shuri from Black Panther's kit, who is a better version of Iron Man because she's cheaper. She doesn't have as much impact while she's on the field because Iron Man does have the 223 stat line and she's just a 113. But she also does not have the limitation of only searching for tech upgrades. She does have the limitation of only searching your deck. And if you're looking for more recursion, you're going to go Iron Man. If you're mostly just looking to try and get all this stuff out of your deck, I think Shuri's going to be your call. But yeah, this was it. I just want to go over a handful of interesting combos or allies that I think are going to go really, really well with Cameo, and just get that out there because as soon as I read Cameo, I was excited, and I think a lot of people were. I'm very, very much looking forward to getting Wonder Man and Hercules just so I can add their cards to my collection and see what chaos I can get up to with them. If you like this, please, algorithmic stuff, like, comment, subscribe. Please tell me what allies you are looking forward to playing. I'll be very interested in hearing all about what you want to play with Cameo. What allies excite you the most? If you have any deck ideas already brewing for who you're going to be including who you're going to be including in your deck with Cameo, please let me know down below. And hope all your games go well. I'll see you in the next one.